Alright, welcome back to our You Decide series, and this time we're actually going to be doing No Sanity, No Evidence today, so let's see how things go, shall we? We're going to start out on Tanglewood. We've been doing a lot of rapid-fire tests, so hopefully you guys got pretty good at knowing some of these tests, but No Sanity, No Evidence is a great way to rapid-fire hunts, which I always say is one of the most important methods of eliminating ghosts, so let's see how this goes. Okay, thought we was getting hunted, but instead it's a light break event. Very interesting to have your first event be a light break event. I don't like saying that, but maybe you're picking up what I am putting down. Alright, so let's set this up. The ghost room might not necessarily be in the living room. The lights being broken there is kind of annoying. That is very interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Let me see here. Actually, very curious now. Very curious. Don't know if you're thinking what I'm thinking here. That is very, very interesting, actually. I don't know where that went. Where is it? I'm very confused right now. I guess you staying in there, buddy. I guess you staying in there. I'm just very It's a very interesting ghost. It's a very interesting ghost. I actually think it's one of two things right now. I wish it would not have done those lights. This is very interesting. It's not hunting. We're on 0 sanity. Here we go. Let's see here. Just knock it out there. Okay. What did you glean from that? Were you able to tell what the ghost was? I was able to tell what that ghost was. And I know my buddy Sharky knows what it is too. That's right. It was a phantom, and we were actually sus of that or a banshee, and I'll explain exactly how. Now, at the first where I said a light break event early was very sus of a mare. Any ghost can do light break events, as we see. However, if your first ghost event happens to be a light break, because mares are more likely to do light break events, that's usually where you kind of want to be, okay, let's thank mare for this, because out of the choice of any ghost event, it chose to do that one. Obviously, it did not matter. So we set up in the garage. Again, we did not know where the ghost room was yet. So it came over and walked through the salt. Okay, very interesting. Maybe the garage was the ghost room. We didn't know. That's why we went and grabbed the motion sensors to test to see if it was a roaming ghost. Then as we were in the hallway, the portrait actually fell, which signaled to us the ghost was actually right there. So it's like, okay, it came to us in the garage. It's interacting with stuff in the hallway. That's two big differences, and not just interacting through the wall. So then we set up the motion sensors by the dining room. What happened? The ghost came to us again. Very sus of banshee or phantom right there. And the best way to figure that out would just be looking at the ghost during the hunt. And as we say, phantoms are less visible during the hunt. That is what we mean because you could hardly see it. It was very scary. I tried to loop it. We did it decently for a little bit until I just said, screw it, we're smudging, we're running away. Hopefully you got that one. It was a nice, easy one to start with and shows the importance of not only knowing the ghost traits of phantoms roaming to you from anywhere on the map, but also observing the ghost. All right, let's go to Edgefield this time. And again, I always like showing my favorite spot here on Edgefield. Try it out yourself. It's very good for observing the ghost. Hopefully it's not a crawly kid or just a crawly ghost in general. But setting things up right there could be pretty good. I'm going to go back here just so we can kind of get in a good electronic item. I think that can help. And I'm grabbing you there. And that should be pretty good. Then we can keep an eye on where to go. All right, so let's see. Take you there. And this is a nice little spot here. The ghost can roam and kill you here, so be careful, but it is a good one. So let's take a look and see what we got. Okay. Well, very interesting that we did a ghost event right there. It's hard to ghost event from a different floor, but you still around? I don't know where you are. Let's see about the hunt again. Let's see the next hunt. You can be thinking in your mind, was that normal speed? Did it look normal? Was it slower? Was it faster? Was it visible? Okay. That was weird. It went from upstairs to that's the ghost room. Very interesting. I'm guessing that that's still the ghost room? I don't know. I'm very curious. That is very, very weird. How does it upstairs first? Okay, well, I think we know what the ghost is. Just wanted to verify it could not be one. Hopefully you do too. That's right, the ghost was a yokai. We could tell because when we activated our radio, the ghost did not come for us, and we should have been in range for every other ghost. So before I get to that as well, let's go ahead how we eliminated some other ghosts, right? So we knew right away that the ghost had normal blinks, so it would not be a phantom. We knew that it would not be an Oni either. We did not get line of sight to rule out a Jinn. We saw it a bit. Maybe enough to rule out a Bake, maybe not. We knew... I wasn't sure if it was a bit slow or normal speed. So I knew it was either the twins or it was going to be normal speed. So it was not fast around electronics, so we could eliminate a Raiju. Our sanity's at 0, so it can't be a Moroi. Thay, it would have been really fast. Dio obviously would have found us. Hantu would have been a little bit slower there as well. Revenant would have been super slow. So after that first hunt, this is kind of what I was banking on here. We also knew that it stepped in the salt, so it could not be a Wraith. Now, Banshee was very interesting because I don't know how that ghost room switched like that. To go from upstairs to the kitchen was a pretty far roam, so we also could rule out Goryo based on that. Then, of course, after that next hunt, we were able to say that it was a yokai. Wanted to double check for orbs to rule out a mimic because we didn't have a lot of tests in there. Since it seemed like the ghost room was in the kitchen, we were able to rule out a mimic. And just as an example, I want to show you what a non-yokai right there would look like for you, okay? So, again, for the yokai test, you kind of want to get it as the ghost is coming away from you and not headed straight towards you, so you can see it kind of turn around and come back. So, see, watch. See Mr. Nakey turn around and came back? Of course, Mr. Nakey. I don't have a lighter, but apparently I forgot a lighter. Well, it happens. But that's what we are looking for. All right, let's go to Ridgeview here, and I do have my lighter, in case you were wondering. We're going to be safe. I was more worried about showing off the yokai than actually surviving. Mr. Nicky strikes again, though. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. So we can kind of keep that ghost here. Don't know where the ghost is, so... Alright, upstairs or downstairs? Okay, very well, very well. What did you glean from that? Anything? Anything? Alrighty. There's a few that you should have been good on. I do believe that this is the ghost room, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, let's go back and get some items from the truck, because we're gonna need some. I also want to try to make it back in by a minute, of course, to check for a certain ghost, because I still don't think we can really rule in anything. I am sus. I don't think it's going to be the ghost. It's probably the one that you all are thinking. I'm not too sure that that's going to be it. Let's check around this room right quick. Do not see anything. That was very, very interesting. Very interesting, I will say. Alright. Yeah, let's time this again. Did we only... I think we only took in one smudge. It can hear me, can it? Yeah, what a bug. What a bug. I hate this bug so much. We're on push to talk, but it killed us. What was the ghost? It was a Ure. Okay. I was not real sure what it was. I'm just going to leave this in here because to showcase this annoying bug. If you are playing solo, and apparently if you activate your radio, you do have to be quiet because it will actually turn it on as always on. Yeah, isn't that fun? Isn't that fun? This is going to be a really hard one to figure out. I was kind of sus of Demon. It hunted right at like 130. I mean, it was said 129, and you think about a second delay. Like, that's possible. That was really super close. That's what I was trying to test for there. I think a lot of y'all were probably thinking Pulte after the first hunt, and I was not. I was not. I think a Pulte would have thrown more. It's just when we're only looping it around the same place, there's only so much. I think that table should have been completely clean after the first hunt, but it was not. Ure was going to be a really annoying one. We would have had to have gotten the door throw ability. So let's go over exactly what else that we had. We knew it was Not a spirit because it did hunt less than 3 minutes after the smudge. It did step in the salt. It was not a wraith. Normal blinks, so it was not a phantom. It was normal speed for everything, so we could rule out a revenant, a Raiju. I think, could we rule out a Raiju? Did we have electronics? We may not have had electronics. So Raiju might have been one we still needed to kind of test for, actually. Moroi, Dio, Thay obviously was not going to be it. Hantu, Twins. We did check. There were no orbs for a Mimic. It was normal blink, so it was not an Oni. I wasn't thinking it was Polty. I wasn't too sure, though. Still keeping it on there. It was not a Yokai because that's what caused us to die. Not a Jin because it would have come to us faster. It was just a normal line of sight speed increase. It was not an Obake because we basically looped the whole thing around, and it was not it. Rest of these was kind of what it was not a shade because it did interact with things in the room and try to hunt in that room. It was not an Onryo because it did the firelight. Tried to use the crucifix and tried to hunt over, and then ended up being a Yurei, which we probably would have maybe got at some point. That was going to be a long one. Let's move on. That one doesn't count for you all. You all wouldn't have known, but I wanted to keep it in to showcase the bug and just so you get a good idea of how we can eliminate things. All right, I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about with this bug, because you might be like, nah, you just suck. You just died for whatever. All right, look. So here we go. We're on push to talk. You can't hear us. The minute we activate our push to talk, you can hear us. Take it away. You can't hear us. Now we're going to activate our global radio. Okay. Undo it. We're going to go back here into options. And as you see, we've done absolutely nothing. And now it's no longer push to talk. Now, I was told in chat as I streamed after recording that and told them about the fun bug, it's apparently if you hold your push to talk again, so I'm holding it now, and then let it go, it should have a fix for it. Is this true? Yes. Okay. That is good to know for the future. But then the minute, you activate your radio again, you got the push to talk. What a great voice update. Nothing was broken about that. Nothing. All right, we moved on to Willow Street. Let's see how this one will go for us. I would like to try to get as many lights turned on as possible. At least mainly in the living room and kitchen and hallway. And we know the ghost is going to be in the basement, so I'm just going to set that right there. You can also set that right there. All right. What'd you think about that? What'd you think about that hunt, huh? What'd you think about that hunt? Think about footstep speed. Think about visibility. Did you know what it was? Because we actually could figure out what that ghost was. But in case you were not sure, have no fear. Let's just make sure we don't see one thing in particular. So it came from there. Do not see any orbs. Did not see any orbs on the walk-in, so I think we are safe. Hopefully it'll still be smudged and won't start hunting, or we might be screwed. Now, do you know what the ghost is? That's right, it was a good old Obakery, Obake cake, Obake, whatever you choose to call it. All right, so we knew right away that it was a normal speed ghost, which meant that we could eliminate a Revenant, a Moroi, a Dio, a Thay, the Twins, and a Hantu. Okay, Revenant would have been slow at first with that line of sight. Hantu would have been slow because of the temperature. Moroi at 0% sanity would be really fast. Dio would have been fast and slowed down as it caught us. They would have been extremely fast. Twins would have been slightly slower, slightly faster. Raiju, we had no electronic equipment, so we were not able to rule that out. But if we had an active electronic there and it did not get faster, we could have ruled out a Raiju. Now, we knew from looking at it, it was not going to be a phantom and it was not going to be an Oni. We were able to call it to us with the radio, so it was not going to be a yokai. We did get both of the shapeshifts, and then just to be sure that it was an obake, we did go check for orbs to look for a mimic. There were none, so we knew the ghost was an obake. Let's do one more. All right, let's do one that's going to make me want to rip my hair out. That is Camp Woodwind. It's going to be super fun. Let's look for ghost orbs right quick, see if we can see any. Does not look like we can. I do not see any anywhere. So far so good. Let's see, we can drink you. Let's get on out. Might be used to this with the Woodwind strat, if you play that at all. Let's grab you, and let's grab you. All right. Well, that was certainly interesting, for sure. Do not see any orbs? I think we know what it is. Do you know? That's right, the ghost was a Raiju. How did we know it was a Raiju? Did you pick up on the speed difference, or did you just think it was a line of sight increase? Here's what we knew right away. It was normal speed to start, which again meant that we could rule out a Revenant, a Moroi, a Dio, Thay, the twins, and Hantu. We were staring at it. We knew we could rule out a Phantom and an Oni based on how visible it was. Basically based on the blinking. Phantom's more invisible, Oni's more visible. A Jinn would have came to us quicker when we were out in the open and it got line of sight, because Jinn will chase you faster to catch up to you and then slow down as about the time it does get to you. We could rule out a Wraith. We could kind of hear the ghost from far away, which meant we probably could have ruled out a Myling. And then as it was coming to us, it got faster as it got within range of our motion sensor, which was our electronic, which is how we got to Raiju. So listen to this again. Listen to the footstep speed. It's normal speed. And then as it gets closer and closer to us, as it gets within range of that electronic, it will speed up. So hopefully you were able to put your knowledge to the test, and if you would like to do another You Decide challenge, click or tap the screen now, as we'll do that with one evidence. Thank you so much to everybody who checked in this out as a live premiere. Once again, I greatly appreciate you all. Thank you so much to all the channel members for all the extra support. It truly does mean a lot to me. Happy hunting, everybody. Let's go to that previous You Decide and guess some more ghosts.